Hello, and welcome back to J.P.'s Retro World. I'm your man J.P., and once again, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching. So today, I've got a little bit of time on my hands because my wife is off volunteering at a concert, and I have a ticket to that concert, so I'm going to go a little bit later. But for right now, I've got some time in my hands, and I got nothing else to do, so why not come on here and do a video? So today I'm gonna do right now it's gonna be like two different things that I'm doing. I'm gonna cover Rocky 6, and then I'm also gonna talk about some Mattel retros that have come out as of late that I don't have, but there's reasons for that. Okay, so Rocky 6, or Rocky Balboa as the movie is actually called. So the premise is we catch up with Rocky many years later after the 5th movie, and he's by himself. His wife is dead, and Paulie's kind of with him. In fact, they show scenes in the movie where Rocky's taking Paulie around all these different sites to where Rocky and Adrian used to hang out, and the site of their first date, and there's a ice skating rink that they went out on their first date that's been torn down, and this is where Paulie tells Rocky, Rocky, I love you, but I can't do this anymore. This is tearing me apart. My sister is dead. We got to move on, and you got to move on too. So anyway, so Rocky owns a restaurant, and his son is trying to get involved, I think, in the business world or something. He's got like a white collar office job, and so their relationship isn't exactly the best, but Rocky, he goes and visits Adrian every day at the cemetery. But at some point during this movie, he decides he wants to fight the world heavyweight champion, the boxing champion of the world. So, and the champion of the world agrees, and because there was a computer simulation on television in which it showed Rocky Balboa beating the current champion. So the current champion, which I forget his name, but yeah. So he decides he wants Rocky in the ring, and Rocky decides he wants to see if he's got one more fight left in him. So he convinces the athletic commission to grant him a license to box one more time, one more fight. So he trains really hard. He goes and gets this old sick dog from the pound and trains with him, and he gets his old buddy Duke, his old trainer from Rocky 3 and 4, to train him. And, so he trains hard. He ends up fighting the champ. He doesn't win, because he's old and the world champion is a young, hungry fighter. But he goes the distance, and he's proves to himself that he still has something left in him. And so he's happy with the fact that, he got one last fight in him, and he did well. And so it was done really, really well, the way they told the story, where, Rocky's actual old trainer, Duke, they brought him back, and, it's the same guy that played Paulie. And so, good movie, great movie. I love the premise of it. I think Sylvester Stallone did the movie because he admits that the 5th movie wasn't very good. And so he wanted to do this not the last movie really, but this last actual Rocky movie, so that the fans could say, okay, that's a good way to end the saga. Of course, it's not really the end. We have 3 Creed movies that we're going to cover, but nevertheless, that was Rocky 6, and it's one of my favorite ones. I could do like all in order, my favorite one. I'm not really going to do that because they're all good. I mean, the 5th one, it's not very good, but I still watch it because it's part of the saga, and it gets you to number 6. So, with that, great movie, Rocky Balboa. So now I'm going to talk about some Mattel retros that have come out lately. There's 2 waves that have come out recently. One of them is a WrestleMania 1 wave, where it has Hulk Hogan, Big John Studd, Wendy Richter, and Muhammad Ali in a referee outfit. Now, I wanted to get Hulk Hogan and Big John Studd, just because getting those would be. If I get the Hulk Hogan, I would probably leave him in the package, just because I have 2 Hogans already. But this Hogan would be in the package still, probably somewhere behind me. And, the Big John Studd, also a good-looking figure from what I saw. As far as Wendy Richter, it'd be kind of cool to have, just for the nostalgic sake, but I really probably wouldn't use her for anything. And it'd be cool to have the Muhammad Ali, just because they never made a referee figure for the Hasbro series. So, and then right after that, they came out with a D-Generation X wave. And I saw those figures, and the Triple H one looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. And actually the Bad A Billy Gunn figure looks pretty good, as far as the pose and workability. But then they came out with a China figure, which I think China should have been replaced by X-Pac, personally. I've got nothing against China personally, but I would never use her figure or anything. Plus, I didn't really care about DX. But the 4th figure in this set is the Road Dogg. Now, that figure is horrible. That's the worst figure I have ever seen. It rivals the Ravishing Rick Rude, Ric Flair, 1-2-3 Kid Hasbro figure. Now, I don't have it with me. I didn't buy it just because I would have at least bought the Triple H and Billy Gunn if you could buy them separately, but no, they come in 2 packs. So if you buy one, you have to buy like another one, and I didn't want to spend the money for all 4 of those figures, especially when one is so awful. So the Road Dogg Jesse James figure, not only is it a jumper, so the legs are like together, but the arms are like this. They're wide open, and they're doing, I think it's supposed to be doing the crotch shot that DX did, but it's like this. I don't know who's designing these figures. I really don't. And I don't mean to sound critical. I don't. But I'm very passionate about the Hasbro figures and Hasbro-esque figures. And so when they design them and they're just awful, I have to talk about it. And I'm sorry, Mattel Creations, but that figure, that Road Dogg figure that you just came out with, that's horrible. That makes me just want to vomit. Honestly, just figures like that are just dumb. And I don't know why they come up with them. I don't know. I guess they come out with them because they figure, well, the people that collecting these figures, they're not really playing with them. They're just collecting them. So it's okay if they look like crap, or if the functionality is crap. But I don't know. I would want to come up with figures that are not only functional, but look cool as well. But that's just me. I'm not a figure designer. But the guys over at not only Hastel Toys and Zombie Saber Toys, those guys are doing amazing figures. And I do have a couple Zombie Saber Toys, not with me, but I have the Dino Bravo and the King Kong Bundy figure. I've shown you those before. Those are awesome. And I've seen the Hastel Toys figures that they're doing. They have several versions of the Men on a Mission, Mabel and Mo and Oscar. Plus they've done versions of Savio Vega. And they just, their figures are awesome looking. They know how to design figures. Those guys know what we, the figure collectors, want, and they know what we want to see. So those guys, I give them a thumbs up, even though I don't really, this is just really an impromptu video, but those guys, I give a thumbs up because those figures are looking awesome. They look amazing. But Mattel Creations, it's hit or miss with those guys. Sometimes they come up with figures that are great, but a lot of times, now, the Hogan figure that they came up with for the WrestleMania wave, which So that WrestleMania wave, and then wave 1 of the WrestleMania, those could actually be combined to the one big WrestleMania 1 wave, because the first one had Mr. T, Mean Gene Okerlund, Rowdy Piper, and Cowboy Bob Orton as another WrestleMania 1 thing. But this other one, now the Hogan figure, it looks cool, but it's got that stupid kick move where you can push the leg down, but it doesn't stay down. It just wants to kick up. Those I don't really like the move. And I'm actually thinking about taking my Nikolai Volkov figure and super gluing the leg down so it stays. I tried to do my action figure videos. I tried to involve Nikolai Volkov, and his leg kept kicking up. I couldn't get it to stay down, and it was just really annoying. And I know that the Mattel Creations guys brought back these figures because they wanted to bring back the Mattel or the Hasbro style nostalgia, and I appreciate that. I applaud them for that. But some of the moves that they come with, first of all, personally, I don't need the power action moves myself, personally. But I know some guys liked them and whatever, but I don't know. That kick move is really irritating, and I don't like it. But the Hogan figure from the WrestleMania 1 set has that kick move. But the Big John Studd figure has like a move where his arms just come down, but he's double-fisted, and he just looks really good. And the Muhammad Ali figure is in a referee outfit, so you could have a referee in your matches now. And the Wendy Richter figure, like I said, her figure is pretty cool looking, but I don't think there's anywhere where I would actually fit her into the equation from my wrestling figure fed, just because they don't make women's Hasbro wrestlers, and they never really did. So, but I don't know. That's just me. If I got that wave, I'd probably leave her in the package, unless she comes in a 2-pack with somebody else, in which I guess I'd have to open her up. Anyway. Okay, so rant over. I did order, Mattel Creations did release a new ring, and it's in the style of the same blue Hasbro style ring that they came up with. The only thing is, it's black. Now, I personally don't have a serious issue with that, but I have heard some of you say that you don't like the fact that the new ring is black, which I get, I understand, but I personally don't have a huge issue with that part of it, especially if I use that ring for sort of my big event pay-per-view ring. But, anyway, so I'm expecting that, because that's actually a pre-order, that ring. So I'm expecting that in the mail whenever it comes out. So anyway, I think it comes out the 17th, but I don't know. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you come back for more. So if you're new, please feel free to go ahead and click the like button, click the subscribe button, and I will definitely see you next time.